You know, I've never seen Children of the Corn. And even after this episode, I don't think I'm gonna see it. Okay, this is Amphibia. This is episode 19A, Children of the Spore. Oh my god, this episode, what the when you want to talk about a near Halloween episode, like, this is pretty much the closest you're gonna get. I mean, I feel like, at least in this season, like, this is the closest they got to, like, a freaky WTF horror flick. Because, okay, let's go through this episode. So, it all starts when Hop Pop is finishing up or putting the final touches on his little boat replica thing called the Green Lady, and pretty much, and the second Sprig and Polly come into the room, or Sprig and like hits a ball through the window and it almost knocks over Hop Pop's stuff. The second that happened, I'm like, okay, I know kind of the general shtick of this episode now, because Hop Pop wants to. Kind of the point of this episode is Hop Pop wants peace and quiet in order to work on this thing, and the kids keep interrupting because they're kids. The kids interrupt, so that's kind of part of this episode. And yeah, I mean, even at the end, they kind of make a joke about how this whole everything that happens is technically part of it's technically on Hop Pop, but okay, well, I'm sorry, this episode's weird. I mean, it's weird in a good way, but I mean, because like I said, it's got a hint of horror. It's a bit kind of scary. It is kind of creepy, and it's just what. And so okay, so while the kids continuously play, and then it eventually leads to Hop Pop's boat actually breaking. And I thought he technically snaps, but he doesn't snap in the way I was expecting. I thought he was gonna like lash out at the kids and yell at them and stuff, but he just freaks out. He's like, "Ah, my baby!" And so he rushes to Watto, and to try and get it fixed, and he says he can, not he, I. Man, I wish we had another episode of him like another episode, or an episode dedicated to him, where he would be like, I know we had the Kane episode way back at the start of the series, but if we had another episode dedicated to him, I just love it every time he's like, I cannot, I can do not. And they're like, why do you do that? He's like, well, because I have a hole right here in my, I can't abbreviate, I can't do contractions and stuff. I cannot do contractions and stuff, sorry. Try to be more authentic. So Hop Pop has to go in, and he gets the boat fixed, but then he meets this creepy frog with a hood, and the frog name is named Apothecary Gary. Kid you not. So Gary gives Hop Pop this interesting looking potion. It's this like pinkish purplish potion, and if you really squint there, the little white dots are actually shaped as mushrooms and stuff. So yeah, Children of the Spore. Wonder what could possibly come of this. And so the guy in the hood says to Hop Pop, all you need to do is take a dab of this, put it on, like, spread it across the kids' foreheads, and they'll be obedient. They'll be obedient to you. And so Hop Pop, and he doesn't, he isn't on board with it. He's holding the vial. He's like, nah, I'd rather take it back. But then when he turns back to Gary to give it back, he's gone. Gary's gone. So he's stuck with it, and so at first he he's thinking, nah, no, I'm not gonna do it. But then he gets back to the house, and the kids accidentally cause another ruckus, or they inadvertently break the boat again because they're like, first one in the kitchen is on Grande, or something like that, and they just run past Hop Hop and actually knock down the stuff. So Hop Hop, that's kind of when Hop Hop snaps, but he doesn't lash out at the kids. Instead, he just, in the middle of the night, he dabs the potion on their heads, and pretty much the next morning, the creep factor begins, because the kids because like Hop Hop goes downstairs, he starts making breakfast, and then he turns around, and the kids are just staring at him with just like big wide eyes, and they're like, "Good morning, Hop Hop." It's like creepy, really creepy. And even Hop Hop, Hop Hop part of me is like, okay, that's kind of creepy, but they are behaving. It's like, so he finishes up he nearly finishes up his boat, and the kids spend pretty much the entire day, most of the day I should say, sitting on the couch, because Hop Hop told them to sit on the couch. And every time, and like Hop Hop always, occasionally Hop Hop would turn back and just look at them, and they would just stare at him. It's so creepy. And there's even a point where he has him go play outside, and yeah, it's creepy. Like they're trying to play the version of baseball, and it's just creepy watching him play. And it seems like, and so the kids eventually do snap out of it. They're like, "Oh my god, my head." And Sprig's like, "It's almost, I feel like it's if my body was taken over and I had no control." So and then they start playing around again, though. So Hop Hop's like, I'll do it again, just one more time, and then I'm done. Like, that was my initial thought that this episode was gonna go. Like, he was gonna kind of grow addicted to using it, like, because he liked it. I thought that's where it was gonna go, but no, they actually cut it short by throwing in this factor. So he goes in, again, middle of the night, he does it again. Then it seems everything's nice and dandy. Then we find out what this potion actually is, and Children of the Spore, yeah, I remember, so, you guys remember, so this is like a combination of The Last of Us meets, like, those mind-controlling spores that causes ants to, have you guys heard of those? Like, the spores that cause ants to climb up a tree, just mount themselves, like, this part themselves into the side of the tree, and then they slowly grow plants out of their heads. That's basically what this is. So, but the kids, like, they're more of like the stereotypical zombie, like, and so Hop Hop is freaking out because they have glowing purple eyes, they have spores now out of their heads, and then there's a knock at the door, and it turns out it's Apothecary Gary. And so Gary takes off his hood, and it's just a gigantic mushroom is on top of his head. And then, so we find out that this is a mind-controlling spore. It's the last of its kind, as it says, and it's been trying to take over, because evil and stuff. So, it turns out he has the entire town under his control. I really want to know how the heck he did that. I mean, a few of them make sense. Like, there's one with, like, Mayor Toadstool is under control. I'm like, yeah, I can see Toady using it. But, everyone's controlled, and so the only one that's not is Hop Hop. And so he has the entire town go after Hop Hop, and Hop Hop, for the most part, is able to not get attacked, but then he gets cornered in the barn where Bessie is, and as we've established, Bessie likes to eat mushrooms, and so what does Hop Hop do? Okay, this is a nitpick. I think this is the only thing. Well, okay, there's two things I don't like about this episode. One is this: Hop Hop's cornered in the barn, and he looks, and so and the only way he can free Bessie from her stable is apparently he had to throw the boat that he's been working on towards the stable so it hits the lock and unlocks it. I'm like, you could have I'm pretty sure you could have ran over there and unlocked it yourself, but, he just throws in, hits the lock, opens up Bessie, and then, he's like, Bessie, time to eat! And so Bessie, like, because all the townspeople have mushrooms on their heads, so Bessie just literally goes around and eats everyone's mushrooms. And eventually, Apothecary Gary is freaking out because he's like, no, please don't kill me. I'm the last of my kind. You wouldn't let my species go extinct, right? And then Hop Pop, I love in my opinion, the funniest joke in the episode is just Hop Pop. Like, they start playing this dramatic music, and then Hop Pop's just like, nah, actually, I can live with it. I love the dark. I love it. It's just dark and it's funny. So Bessie eats the giant shroom, seemingly ending the madness, and all the townspeople are snapped out of their trance, I guess, and they're no longer zombies. And even the guy who was under the control of the shroom is like, do you know where I live? And Hop-Up's like, I can't help you, Gary. And then the guy's like, my name's not Gary. And I'm like, wait, so this was the shroom named Gary then? And it called itself an apothecary Gary? What the I mean, again, it's I love those little bits. But obviously the kids confront Hop Pop, and they're like, and Hop Pop's like, okay, I may have gone a little too far. And they're like, a little? They're like, all we did was destroy a little replica of a bow. You mind controlled us and nearly turned us into zombies. And Hop Pop's like I said, only a little. That's the other problem I have. I mean, I get the joke, like, he's like, yeah, I know I screwed up, but I'm like, he did technically go a little too far with it. Like, the first time I get it, but then, like, he was willing to do it a second time. So, I don't know. I mean, he obviously, he fixed he saved the town, and he did everything, so... And then the family makes their amends, and then they go and they head back inside, but then we pan over to one of the shrooms that has the potion, so there was more of the potion that Gary had, but it was knocked out of his hands when Bessie was going crazy, and so it splattered against the wall, but then it's still there, and then we have a beetle that comes in and starts nicking at the potion, and then some of the potion drips onto his head, and then bam, giant shroom forms on the beetle's head. So these things these things. I mean, if this never is addressed, if this never comes back, I mean, it could work. It could work if they do that, but I mean, I feel like when these things return. It's like I get to see it attack, revenge of the spores or something like that. But it would be ridiculous. But okay, yeah. So overall, this episode, I mean, I think it's partially because this is technically this is the penultimate. This is the penultimate to the season finale. I mean, obviously, this isn't the way I do these isn't technically the penultimate, but this is the penultimate to the penultimate. So, I don't know. Just one last filler, I guess. Because, because the next episode, it kind of starts off as filler, and then it goes... Okay, actually, I'm going to stop right there, because if I'm going to talk about the next episode, I'm going to talk about it in the next episode. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Apothecary Gary.